Hello everyone, welcome to AWS Tutorials. In AWS Tutorials, we provide workshops and exercises to learn about AWS services. These workshops and exercises are published to our website aws-dojo.com. Recently, AWS announced um, support for FIFO-based SNS topic. And today we are going to learn how you can use SNS FIFO topic to do the ordered processing of the messages. So let's get some understanding about SNS FIFO topics. So as a name suggests, FIFO stands for first in, first out. That means you can create SNS topic in such a way that when you publish the messages to your SNS topic in a certain order, those messages are delivered to the subscribers in the same sequence. So suppose you are like, suppose you have a requirement where you want to use pub/sub model, but you want to use ordered processing of your messages. And in that case, actually, you can use SNS FIFO topic. And when you publish your messages to SNS FIFO topic in certain order, those messages are delivered to the subscriber, whether it's one subscriber or more than one subscriber, in the same order they have been published. Other than ordered message processing, SNS FIFO topic also supports deduplication of the messages. That means if you are sending a duplicate message, SNS FIFO topic can identify and can avoid any duplicate message processing. So as the typical pattern when you're trying to build such solution is that you will have FIFO SNS topic, and then you can add FIFO queue as a subscriber to SNS topic. Then you can add Lambda function, which is going to process your messages from the queue. And suppose in this case, Lambda function is simply updating some order details into some customer table in DynamoDB, but this backend system could be anything. So what happens is then when you submit the order messages in certain sequence, FIFO topic will send that to FIFO queue subscriber in the same sequence. And then when this Lambda function calls, since this is also FIFO queue, it will do the ordered message processing in the same sequence. And that those orders will in the same sequence will be updated to the customer table. So you can create ordered processing pipeline like this. So let's try to understand some of the concept which you use to ensure that your messages are ordered, and you have certain choices you can make to identify duplicate messages as well. So let's try to get some of more details, and then we'll talk about what scenario we are going to implement using SNS FIFO topic. So first thing is ordering. So orders are maintained into message group. So basically, when I talk about message group, it's basically we're talking about a group of messages. So it could be that you maintain only one message group. In that case, you will say, okay, fine. I mean, all the messages are part of one message group, which I'm publishing to SNS topic. And then these messages has to be in the order. So anyway, messages published under one message group are always ordered based on the sequence they are published. But then you have a choice to either maintain one message group, or you can maintain multiple message group. And why it has been given, why it support multiple message groups? Because suppose you have a single topic, but that topic is handling messages from, say, multiple customers or messages from multiple interest groups kind of thing. And in that case, you might want to order the messages for your customer, but you want to message them, you want to order them in different group, because group customer 1 will have its own ordered messages, customer 2 will have its own ordered messages. So in that case, you might want to maintain two message groups, one for customer 1, other for customer 2, and that's why you can maintain multiple message groups inside a FIFO topic, and within one message group your messages are ordered. Now, in simplest scenario, you will have at least one message group where all the messages come to this one group only, and they are processed in ordered fashion. Now, how do I identify a message group? And in order to do so, you have to you have to give a property. When you're trying to publish your message, you have to give value to one of the fields that is called message group ID. So when messages are published, message group ID is a mandatory field. And when you provide the message group ID, all the messages with the same message group ID are considered as belonging to one message group. So very simple, you can maintain 1, 2, 5, 10, up to you, depending on your business case, those many message groups. And when you are publishing your message to a particular message group, you have to identify some kind of message group ID for that message group, and each message in that message group should have the same message group ID. So basically, message group ID determines the message group, and each message inside message group should have the same message group ID. Pretty straightforward. So that's how the ordering works. Now, next one is how does the deduplication work? So how does SNS FIFO topic come to know that this message is a duplicate message? Now, again, you have two choices here. Okay, first in that you can actually add a field to the message when you're trying to again publish the message. You can provide one more property, and that is my deduplication ID. So if your deduplication ID repeats, then the SNS FIFO topic will know, oh, fair enough, now this is a duplicate message. So think of like 4 messages. Suppose the first message has a deduplication ID as 1, second one 2, third one 3, and fourth one got 2 again, for instance. And in that case, the fourth message will not be processed because it has got a duplicate ID. And in that case, that message is considered as a duplicate. But that's the one method you can use. So you can add your own deduplicate ID into the message. And if that deduplicate ID repeats, the message is considered as a duplicate message. Or you can go very simple and you can say, I want to do a content-based message deduplication. And in that case, you don't need to provide any deduplicate ID. You simply select a choice saying that, hey, I want to look for deduplication, but I want to look for deduplication using content of the message. So if the content of the message is repeating, is duplicate, then that message is considered duplicate. And if you go for this choice where you say, I'm going to select my duplicate message based on the content, actually what SNS does, that SNS internally generates a deduplicate ID for your message. And that deduplicate ID is based on actually hash of the body of the message. So again, 2 choices. If you simply want to keep it very simple, say I want to find my duplicate message based on the content, you can go for that choice. And in that case, SNS takes care of generating a duplicate ID to ensure that it can check the duplicate content. And the second is that you can add your own deduplicate ID to the message. So for instance, it might, why we'll go for first choice, because generally, you can say, oh, you know what, I will keep it simple. I'll keep it based on the content-based message, because it looks very simple, right? Because you simply check it and then that's it. You don't need to worry about populating a deduplicate ID when trying to publish the message. But it might happen in certain scenario that 2 messages are not the same content-wise, but probably they are similar messages. And since they are similar messages, they should not be processed 2 times. And in that case, since it is not the same message, but similar message, that means it has the same purpose, same meaning, but not exactly the same content. In that case, having a deduplicate ID really helps, because then If you go by content based, then yeah, SNS will treat both messages as different messages because the content is not the same. They're similar messages, and in that case, you might want to go for the first choice where you provide a duplication ID to the messages to identify the duplicate messages. Now, the way deduplication works is it works based on a duration. So if one message is published and within 5 minutes interval, another message is published and it has the same deduplication ID. Either it's based on you provided or it is based on content. But if within 5 minutes another message appears with the same deduplication ID, then that message is considered as duplicate and it is not delivered for the processing. So duplication check again is based on duration of 5 minutes, and within 5 minutes it checks for deduplication. But suppose after 5 minutes, if a message appears and the message has got a deduplication ID same as one of the earlier messages, it will not be considered duplicate because it has come after 5 minutes. So that's another thing you should know. Now moving on to how it works with the queue, because generally if you're trying to do an ordered processing of the message, in order to ensure that your message is delivered at least once and processed at least once, generally people go for some kind of fan out architecture where the messages published to the topic are published to the queue, and then from the queue they are processed in the backend system. And in this case, the way it works is that at this point of time, SNS FIFO topic has got only one subscriber, and that is FIFO queue. So only FIFO queue could be a subscriber for FIFO topic. And I'm not sure if it is going to be like this always, or would SNS FIFO topic allow other subscriber? Because in my opinion, I mean, if SNS FIFO topic is ensuring the ordered messaging to the subscriber, I mean, I should be able to call a Lambda function directly from my SNS topic and have an ordered processing. But right now, the way it works is that if you try to check what subscribers are available for FIFO topic, right now it's only FIFO queue. I'm not sure if it is at present only like that, it will remain like this always, or would we have other subscriber? I don't know. So we watch out for this space. But right now, only subscriber possible to an SNS FIFO topic is FIFO queue. The second one is that when SNS FIFO topic passes the message to SQS FIFO queue, then it passes the same deduplication ID, because SQS FIFO queue also maintains can also support actually duplication check, and in that case actually and in order to facilitate that, when your SNS FIFO topic passes a message to SQS FIFO queue, if as a queue being subscriber, the deduplication ID is passed from the topic to the queue. Okay, that's the second thing you should know. So the way this whole flow works, guys, and again, if you want to go for ordered processing of messages using SNS topic, this is the pattern available right now, that you can send your ordered messages to your FIFO topic, and then your FIFO topic can have multiple subscribers, and it can have multiple FIFO queue as a subscriber. Each of this FIFO queue will get their own ordered, same ordered messages. So in the same way it is published here, in the same way they are also sent to the queues, and then Lambda function can be put as a trigger behind the FIFO queue. Lambda function is an example over here, but it could be like it's kind of using a push mechanism right now, but you can also adopt some kind of pull mechanism where you have some kind of container task or something else is running which is looking into this queue to get the messages. You can do that as well. But whatever thing processes your message, whether it's a Lambda function in a push mechanism, or you're using some kind of container task or some batch process running inside an EC2 instance or somewhere else. If it tries to fetch the message from the queue, it will also get the same FIFO behavior ordered messages, and then it will process it wherever the way it wants to process it. So you can really create an ordered message fan out architecture or design like this, where your messages are processed end to end in ordered fashion. Now, having said that, what are we going to build today is pretty much, very straightforward. So we are going to have an SNS FIFO topic where we will publish some messages. They will be published, of course, in an order, and they will have a duplicate message as well. And then you will see that we'll have a FIFO queue as a subscriber behind FIFO topic, and then FIFO queue will have a Lambda function configured for a trigger. And right now, Lambda function is not doing any processing to research. We are simply logging that message into CloudWatch log so that we can see in what order the messages were given passed to the Lambda function. And ideally, we would like to see the same order the message published here in the same order the message logged over here. Okay, so this is what we are going to build today as a part of the scenario. In order to implement this scenario, we have created an exercise, and exercise has been published to our website aws-dojo.com. The URL of the exercise has been provided in the description box below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the steps involved to complete the exercise, and I will also explain why we are doing certain things in certain ways. And then post that, you can access this URL anytime you want, and you can run it at your own pace, this exercise in your own leisure. Okay, so let me jump to the exercise now. So here is the exercise where it is published to our website aws-dojo.com. And then these are steps you have to perform to get the job done. So first one is that we want to have prerequisite, and prerequisite is to have an AWS account. If you don't have an AWS account, then you might want to use this link to create one account. Then we are going to create a role for the Lambda function, which Lambda function will use to actually call other service. And basically what Lambda function is doing here is actually it's a fetching message from the queue and also logging the message to the CloudWatch. So we are going to create a role so that a role has at least that much permission. So simply go to the IAM roles. You log into AWS console, go to the IAM management console, click on the roles and say I want to create a new role. And then in the permission, say I want to give permission, I want to create a role for the Lambda function. And then I'm simply giving here is a power user access role policy as a permission. But of course, if you're going for production environment, you might want to really make it very minimum required permission, like for instance, able to receive messages from a certain queue only, able to say if you're trying to publish to the CloudWatch log, ability to publish to the CloudWatch log only. Yeah, so minimum like that, but right now I kept it pretty simple. And then you give this role a nice name called, say, Dojo Lambda role, and you simply save it. So this role is going to get used by the Lambda function. Then you create a Lambda function. So we go to Lambda management console, say I want to create a function, and we say the name of the Lambda function is Dojo Lambda function. We choose Python 3.8 as a runtime. And then I say I want to use an existing role for authorization for execution, and we select Dojo Lambda role here. And we simply create the function. So when the function is created, we add a code, and code is probably one of the smallest code you have seen. And what we are doing here is that we're simply, so this event will actually get, this event is passed by queue to the Lambda function, and this event will have a lot of detail about from where the message is coming, but it will also have the original message which was published by the SNS topic to the queue. So that we can fetch through this body. And so we are simply going to the events record, first record, and we are simply fetching the body of the messages. And this whole thing we are dumping into CloudWatch log so that we can go to the CloudWatch log and see in what order the messages were passed to the Lambda function. So after we have done that, we simply deploy the Lambda function, and the Lambda function is ready. Now we go back to the actual work. So first we go and create SNS FIFO topic. So you go to the SNS management console and say, I want to create a FIFO topic called dojo topic.FIFO. And then this one is a first in, first out kind of topic. And then I'm, in this case, going for content-based message deduplication. That means based on the content, I want SNS topic to determine whether this message is duplicate or not. And we simply create this topic. And once the topic is created, you want to make note of this ARN for the topic, because we need it later when we're trying to configure the SQS FIFO and a FIFO queue. So next is we need to add a queue as a subscriber to this topic. And that queue is a SQS FIFO queue. So we simply go to SQS management console and say, I want to create a new queue. And again, in this case, we select for a FIFO queue, and we give this a name called dojo queue.FIFO. And again, here we say, I want to do a content-based deduplication, and you select this option over here. Now, here we are saying that when you select FIFO as when I select a queue as a subscriber, that means when the a message is published to SNS topic, the SNS topic is going to send that message to the queue. That means SNS topic should have permission to send the message to the queue, and that we need to configure. So for that, you go to the access policy section when trying to create the queue. So you first provided the name and then checked for duplicate. Then you go further down on the page and say, I want to provide the access policy. And in basic, generally you can control access based on owner or based on the user, roles, group, or account. But in this case, we select for advanced, and we add in the existing statement, policy statement over there, we simply add one more statement. And if you look at the statements, it says that I give, if someone like dojo topic.FIFO, and by the way, when you copy paste this thing into the access into the access policy, replace this 111 with your AWS 12-digit AWS account number. Okay, so I just put it here because I don't want to show my account number to you. But yeah, you should replace this one with your 12-digit account number. So what we do here is that what we're saying here is that on this resource dojo queue FIFO, we are providing access to send message for the principal, which is SNS topic. So SNS topic, I'm allowing to send message to FIFO queue, and as long as that SNS topic look like this. So basically, what I'm saying here is that I'm allowing my my SNS topic to be able to send message to the dojo queue, and this will allow the permission. So once that is done, we simply go and create the queue. Now the queue has been created, and it has also allowed permission to publish messages or to send messages, not exactly publish, but send messages from the SNS topic. Now next one is that this messages has to be processed, and the messages are processed by Lambda functions in this case, in this scenario. Not necessarily always. You can have your processing through some other means as well. So we simply go to the Lambda triggers, and we are configuring a Lambda trigger, and we simply go and select the dojo Lambda function we created earlier to process the message, which is on the name of processing, basically logging it to the CloudWatch log at this point of time. So our queue is now ready. Now we can go back to SNS topic. And then we can say, I want to create a subscription for this topic. And then in this case, right now, the only protocol available is Amazon SQS. and we can provide this FIFO topic, FIFO queue over here. And by virtue of that, if you publish any message to the topic, they are sent to the FIFO queue for the processing. So now all our configurations are in place. Now we can simply start testing it. So in order to test it, we go to the SNS topic. So we select this Dojo topic.fifo, and we say I want to publish a message. And in this case, I'm providing this message group ID as one. So in this case, I'm considering only one message group ID. And here you can see that you can also provide a deduplication ID. But in this case, we are not providing deduplication ID because we have selected for content-based message duplication check. So I don't need to provide it here. So all I need to provide is a message group ID, because that's how SNS topic realizes that these messages belong to one message group. And then we simply say, I'm simply putting a message, this is message one. And I publish it. And once I publish it, actually, I repeat this again, and I publish 3 more messages. Like this is message 2, this is message 1 again, and this is message 3. So here I'm trying to create a duplicate message, and for all these messages, I'm putting the message group ID as 1 so that they are considered as messages from the same message group, and they are treated in the ordered fashion. So now that my messages have been published, I can go to the Dojo Lambda function, click on the monitoring, because all my Dojo Lambda function was doing that when the messages, the Dojo Lambda function is triggered and messages are passed to it, all it is doing is simply logging that message into a CloudWatch log, nothing more than that. So we go to Dojo Lambda function, click on monitoring. I want to view the log in the CloudWatch, and then you click on the CloudWatch log, and you can see that these messages have been published in an are processed in an ordered fashion. So this is message 1, 2, and 3. And if you look at their timestamp, 1513, 1516, and 1517, it shows that the messages are published in the order they were sent to the messages are processed in the order they were sent to the SNS topic. Now you must have realized that here we sent 4 messages where this is message 1 was duplicate, but here only 3 messages are processed. Reason being that this is message 1 was a duplicate message. It was sent 2 times, and based on the content, SNS topic realized, oops, this is a duplicate message, and it did not deliver that message for the processing. And you saw an example how message duplication, duplicate message processing can be avoided in SNS topic. So that was all, and that finishes the exercise. Next step is to go clean up the resources so that you don't incur any cost post this exercise. So that was all for this exercise, guys. If you like this exercise and the video, please click on the like button. We really need some encouragement from your side. And please subscribe to our channel. We try to publish 1 or 2 such exercises, workshops, videos every week. So please stay tuned for that. If you have any feedback or comments or any requests for new content, you can always reach out to us either in the YouTube channel comment section, or you can click on this contact us button over here, tab over here, and can provide your feedback from there. There are many other similar workshops and exercises which are there to learn about AWS services. You can use these workshop and exercises and follow really step-by-step process to implement certain scenario and learn about AWS services. So please do explore these workshops and exercises. That is all for today, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Stay tuned for more such video and exercises. Meanwhile, stay safe and be careful. Bye-bye.